Hey, welcome back to another Ozzstar's Today's Fun Project. Today we've got two things to talk about. One is this new scan tool Autel sent me, and the other is my personal truck, 97 F-150 that I own. The check engine light popped on. So Autel sent me this right here, this ML619, the Maxi Link. It can read and clear ABS, SRS codes. Some of these handheld scanners can't do that, so it can do that. I don't know what the code is. I can just tell you the symptoms in the truck. It's a 97 F-150, 4.6 liter V8, and just today I was driving. I was about 30 miles from here, and at idle I came up to a red light. The thing starts shaking pretty bad. Not shaking, but almost wanting to stall. So the engine wasn't really hunting. It just wanted to low idle and almost cut out. I put it in neutral. It would sit there and idle okay, but I can tell it's not idling too smooth. Anyway, drivability going down the road, it's fine. I give it gas, I rev it up. Doesn't appear to be any misfires, and doesn't seem like any kind of fuel or spark problem. So I'm not having any missing. So I assume that's going to be emissions related. Anyway, we'll try out the new 619 here, and we'll see if that can tell us what the problem is. So let's go out to the truck. Just got my driveway out here all sealed up, so I can't bring the truck to the shop. I've got to bring this and myself and you guys to the truck. So it's down by the street. Let's go out there and take a look. There he is. Let's go inside and pop out the Autel and see what we can find. So, like I said earlier, my symptoms were rough idle, low idle, really. And no hesitation. Thing went down the highway just fine. So anyway, let's do the 2-for-1. So we got the Autel here, comes in this case. There's the Maxi Link. Basic, easy function scanner tool here. And let me plug the OBD2 in. That's hooked up. This thing should fire up. There it goes. Let me get in here. Let me jump in. Got the Autel plugged in. Let me turn on the ignition. And we'll check the codes here. Just going to click OK. We're on. Well, we'll go through some of the features. Let's see while we're here. Of course, that's OBD2. There's your ABS, SRS, so we could check for codes there. Setup is pretty straightforward. This does have a colored screen, evidently. And I haven't used this thing yet. And I guess you can turn the beep on or off as you go in between different settings. It's pretty basic, pretty straightforward. Let's go to escape, is kind of like back. And let's see what the codes are, because I can't take the anticipation here. Alright, so it's doing its thing. We'll see how quick it booted up, pretty quick. So mil status is on. I guess I should show you that. Check engine light's been on right there. So that's on. It says we've got one code found, and that's just all the monitors. So let's go to OK. Here's OK here, so I guess you press this button and it gives us this menu here. System status. We want to go to read codes. Let's see what else we got real quick. Race, live data, freeze frame, it's emissions, O2, component test, and vehicle info, modules present. Alright, DTC lookup. It's got a lot of stuff there. So let's go to, since we know we got a code, let's read codes. I'm going to click OK. Stored codes, pending codes. So stored, and it looks like we've got a P0402. So 402, exhaust gas recirculation flow excessive detected. All right, so now we know, well, we don't know, but we know where to look. So I'm thinking DPFE, which is the differential pressure feedback sensor. Or it could be an EGR valve problem. It could be a clogged EGR tube, something like that. Okay, so we'll worry about that when we go under the hood. Let's go back and check pending codes. And the pending code's the same. Hopefully the glare is not too bad. But
that's what we got there. Why don't we just, for the heck of it, fire up the car and let's see what kind of live data we can get. So let me start this up. We'll let it read here. Hopefully it won't mess it up. Let it do its thing. There we go. Let's start this. All right, truck started. You probably can't hear it, but I can feel it. It's shaky. It's cold start right now. It's been sitting probably for about an hour or two. So not much to look at there. Let's go to complete list. Let's see what kind of PIDs we can get. Yeah, engine's really stumbling there. So ECT's at 124 degrees. The fuel trim numbers don't look too crazy right now. Then again, it's probably still in closed loop. RPM is 800 at the moment. Like I said, it's still kind of cold. Let's go custom list. Let's just see how this works. I'll scroll down. Let's say we want to see short fuel term. Then I'll click to the right. Should check that. Oop, maybe not. Let's see. Nope. How do we highlight? How about hit OK? Nope, that doesn't do it either. Oh, right here, select. My bad. Alright, so to highlight these, we hit this middle one here, it says select. So it puts a little check next to it. And let's just say we're interested in these two, short term and long term. And then let's hit OK on bank 1, and then it gives us those right there. So let's go outside. Let's see what the engine sounds like if you guys can pick it up. So the scanner seems to work pretty good. It's pretty fast. Let me pull this up here. So it's got a slight miss. Not a miss, but a hesitation. So that DPFE is right here under this cover. And of course the EGR valve's back here. So we'll check for a, let me go inside so you can hear me better. So we'll go inside the cab. I'll talk about that for a second. So what we're gonna need to check is, and by the way, this car has 131,000 miles on it, this truck. So what we'll check is the DPFE sensor. We can check the EGR solenoid, vacuum solenoid, the EGR itself. We can test all that stuff. We can check for something simple like a cracked or broken vacuum line. That's something to check for too. That may also cause this issue. And we'll see what's what. The live data, I'm pretty pleased with the way this thing booted up really fast, gave us the live data. It's got freeze frame here, which in this case doesn't really matter. I did try, what'd I try off camera here? The vehicle info, couldn't read that. Remember, this is a 97, so this is pretty early OBD2 technology we're dealing with. But otherwise, seemed pretty good. And what we'll do is after we get the repair done, we'll erase the code.
That was a long, hot day. It was the end of the day. I needed my truck for the next day, and basically the truck was running like dick slap, and I just wanted to get the problem fixed. I forgot to hit the record button. I know it sucks, but what I'm gonna do here is show you the steps I took to fix the problem so you won't miss anything. And hey, what can I say? That's how it goes on YouTube land. So let's check it out. All right, so I'll show you guys exactly what I did. I took this pick right here, just a little pick, and went right up under this EVR cap, and I gently pulled and pried and twisted. There's like little tabs here. You gotta be careful not to break them off. And I also, to make this easier, I'm gonna grab a pair of slip joints. Let me get that. All right, got a pair of slip joints. And what I do is gently,
as I'm pulling up and twisting, I'm kind of rotating this. It's not threaded on, don't get me wrong, but you just got to kind of put a little bit of pressure up on it. We don't want to break it. I'll show you guys what's going on under here. Here it comes. There it is. Okay. All right, so it's off. You'll see there's a little foam piece in here, a filter. And this had a bunch of crap on it. It was just like glued up dust and debris. So when I pulled this off, I saw some junk fall off. And what I was doing here to take this off was I just wanted to put my finger on this port, on this vacuum port, so I could see if the EGR was doing its thing. And that was my main reason. The second I pulled this off, the engine smoothed right out. I wish I had got it on film, but I didn't have the camera running. I was down there in the street, like I said earlier. My driveway had just gotten seal coated. So anyway, let me start the truck up, and what I'll do is I'm going to put my finger right on this little port here, and we'll hear the engine stumble because the EGR is opening. So I also back probed the signal wire here on the DPF, and it was, the voltage was changing. I forget if it was like 0.7 volts, I think. Maybe I'll do that for you guys. And when I held my finger over the port when the EGR opened, this thing was jumping up to around 4 volts. So I know the DPF is working fine. So let's start the truck and I'll show you what's going on. So I'm going to put my finger right over the port, and we should hear the engine stumble. It's much smoother now. I mean, it's fine, but that should open, and we should hear the stumble. So here we go. So you want to stall out right away. So I took my finger off so it wouldn't stall out. So I could actually make it stall if I wanted to. Like I said, let me back probe this DPF, and I'll show you guys the voltmeter. So I know that, you know, we have, everything's good here. It was just actually this little stinker causing a headache. Let me get the voltmeter. Okay, I'm going to back probe this top signal wire here. I think it's a green. And my voltmeter is hooked to battery negative. Let me hook these up right here, the lead. Okay, so at idle we're about 0.65 volts. I'll put my finger over this and it should jump up to around 3-4 volts. Let's see what happens. There you go. It went to 4.15 and almost stalled out. So that's just the hood rattling. So anyhow, that proves everything's functioning well. EGR is good, DPF's good. This EVR is fine. Once I cleaned the filter, it was fine. Here, I'll snap it back on for you. There you go, it's snapped back on. It's all set. Not much else to do. You could, if you were having issues, you can check for 12 volts at the EVR. Trying not to get the cord stuck in the fan here. Let's back probe here. We should have 12 volts. Yeah, well, battery voltage anyway, 13.91. So that's good. 13.91. So I believe if we ground this right now, if I touch this, the battery ground, we bring the voltage down, we should be able to, let's see if we're on the signal wire or the power wire. Yeah, we're on the power wire, so the big fat red one is the feed. So let's go to the signal wire. Let me get a jumper, we'll ground this, and we should hear the same situation. We should want to stall. Alright, so I'm actually going to use a test light. You could use a jumper. I'm going to use, it's a little safer, but it won't hurt anything. So again, the test light is hooked to battery negative. So I'm going to touch this jumper lead here, And when I do, the volt should change, but we should hear a stumble. The engine should want to stumble because the EGR is going to open up. So let me just tap it real quick. I don't know if you'll be able to see this light up, but I'm only going to hold it on there for a second. Here we go. Okay, so that dropped down to about 8 volts, and the test light lit up. Do it one more time. So there you go. That's proof everything's functioning good. By the way, this is back probed on the EVR here, the wire to the left. Not the thick red one. I think it's like a, I don't know if it's black, brown and pink or something. It's a smaller wire. It's on the left. That's the signal wire. All right, so it's been about 90 miles since I reset the code after I cleared that foam filter on the EVR. Of course, the check engine light has stayed out since then. And let's go to the, I have the engine running, the ML619's plugged in. I want to go to stored codes, check to see no code stored. Let's go back, let's check for pending codes, and it's fine. So that's what I want to see. Well, that was a pretty cheap, quick, and simple fix right there. Just clearing that filter solved the problem in this case. But I did prove to you, you know, it wasn't the DPF or the EGR. Basically, what was happening is when that filter was clogged and it was kind of holding off on the vacuum, like when I put my finger over it would stumble, right? Because the EGR valve was opening. So basically, by that filter being clogged, it was opening that EGR just enough to make the engine run rough during idle, and that was our issue. So I'm glad it's fixed, and that was a quick and easy one. The MaxLink ML619 worked real well from Autel. What I'll do is I'll leave a link in the description down below if you're interested in more information on what this does. It also has ABS and SRS capabilities to detect the codes, and I think it's about $100, so it's pretty good for the money. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. Thumbs up's always good. Any questions or comments, just leave them down here below. And that's about it. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Take it easy.